Well, welcome back to the Aggborough Unfiltered. It's been one heck of a week again. We say that often. I think if there was football bingo, boys, you'd be shouting bingo at me today.
Yeah, definitely.
In fact, I love Mr. Murray, as everyone knows. I'm a bit of a Murray fan, but I was at the chairman's lunch, and we'll talk about a bit of that later. I was there today, and I noticed one of his favourite things is 100%. 100%. If we were playing Adam Murray bingo, 100% would be up there. But yes, it's been one of those weeks, isn't it? Almost reflecting the weather, I think. Moments of sunshine and greatness, but then there's been some real downpours and dampeners upon us in the club, in the sense of not just the men's, but the women's and the under-18s, and we're going to unpack some of that. But Stuart, how's your weekend been? You have been on the fence.
Yeah. I've literally been on the fence, building a fence.
You've been building a fence to sit on.
Yeah. It's the great fence of Kidderminster.
That's right, yeah. How did you get on in the weather?
Good, actually, yeah. We got rained on a little bit. We bought it for us, so we were going to do it on Sunday, but we did it Friday night and Saturday.
Which actually meant
the FA Cup.
And you said, I'm gutted. You texted me saying, I'm gutted that I missed it.
Yeah.
Were you gutted that you missed it?
Well, yes, but
no. Liam, how about you? How's your week been?
It's not been so bad. Obviously, the weekend, a result was a bit disappointing. That to set the tone for the week sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I let it get to me a bit too much, but hopefully we can rectify that this weekend.
Yeah, and it's good, isn't it, that the men have an opportunity to rectify that. But it's also good that within the club that we have, we are blessed that we have other teams that are playing on our behalf, and the women went out again and won again, local derby. We'll pick that up in a bit, and the under-18s, what a result, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's touch on that FA Cup calamity against Telford. I use the word calamity not necessarily to talk necessarily just about the team, but I think about there was a lot of calamities in that day. First of all, Harriers fans, if you did us proud. I was there. I was there with my family. We had bought tickets a few days before. There was plenty of fans that I know couldn't get in. Well done, Harriers, who were there, who did back the team, who did make a noise. But those of you who didn't get in because you were either planning on buying tickets on the day or whatever that looked like, why would they stop selling tickets to fans?
There must be a reason, but it seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Whether they didn't want as many Harriers fans in there, I don't know.
So I think I read that they were selling home tickets on the door, weren't they? So
yeah, they were, yeah.
It was solely an away ticket issue.
And actually, I know a couple of Harriers fans who were smart and were like, well, they turned up, couldn't get the ticket, so they ended up buying home end tickets, and then said to them, look, I've got home ends, but actually I'm a Harriers fan. It's not my fault you won't sell me one. And so they were allowed into the Harriers end. And
it can cause trouble, can't it? You get the wrong people in any football match doing that. I mean, football fans generally are accepting of another team's supporters to a degree, as long as they're friendly. And but if you have to take desperate measures, you end up with the wrong people in the home end or away end, whichever way you're looking at it. Who knows what might happen? So.
Yeah, it's just a real shame because actually it puts a dampener on the football game that should be accessible for all people. That's and Telford is stupid as well because they're losing out on money at that point. I can't understand it. So there were issues with tickets. That was a calamity one. Calamity two was possibly referee issues again. Neither of you two were able to make it because you were on the fence, Stuart, and Liam, because of him being on the fence, you were unable to make it yourself. But from my point of view, that first goal should not have been disallowed. Apparently it was offside, but I mean, how the referee did that, I don't know. I don't know. Did you listen to it on the radio?
A little bit. I've seen a few little bits of it, and again, the referees, they make decisions that, it just seems unfair at times that they make those decisions, because I know in the last game, that debacle at playing Macclesfield, there were offsides there that were given that were not offside.
Yeah.
So who's making that decision? It's just a bit crazy.
It feels like we're having this conversation too often at the moment.
And actually I was sat with Toby Show Silver today at the chairman's lunch, and I asked him his opinion because he's played at high levels, played in the league and stuff, and I said to him, can you see the notable difference between the referees at this level compared to the above? And he was like, absolutely. It's shocking at this level, but above this clip, more professionalism up there. And he said there's issues, don't get me wrong, but actually the professionalism of that level is right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do about it.
It's almost embarrassing for league at some point, isn't it? Because I follow quite a few different clubs and different fans on Twitter. And everyone seems to be saying very similar things this season.
You've got to temper that as well with the fact that as fans of your club, you're always going to be thinking the ref's against you. But I don't think this is that. I think this is genuinely poor officiating.
Yeah.
Whichever side you're on, it's poor officiating.
And actually, there's no real easy solution to it. Or maybe there is, and maybe you've got a solution, and actually maybe you want to put it in the comments. I mean, I think these referees should be assessed more. I think that they should know that people are out assessing them. Because again, we said it in the last podcast, but the referee at Macclesfield, that Macclesfield game, listen, there was lots of things there. We should have scored more. We should have defended that last goal better. All of that stuff. But the referee also, that was absolutely insane, the length of time that he allowed. Yeah. And then you go back one game further to Kings Lynn. That referee was brave. He was honest. He was on it.
Yeah. The thing is as well, Adam Murray said, and he had the Curry with Murray thing, he was talking about how this league now, a few years ago, would have been like equivalent of League Two.
Yeah.
That's where the it's coming down to this level now, that we're kind of what was League Two a few seasons ago. Therefore, we need better officiating.
Yeah, we do.
It means if the football's
quality is rising. Yeah.
We need the quality of the officials to rise.
It's interesting that you say that. I was reminded of that he'd said that, but the chairman had said actually as a result of what's going on, he almost backed that by saying our budgets are going up as well, because and that's not just ours, but the entire league. Right, everything is getting increased in that manner. It's interesting. Okay, so there was ref issues, there was ticket issues. What about the performance? I hear a lot of Harriers fans, and we're all entitled to our opinion, saying it was one of the worst performances they've seen in a long time. You guys, have you seen the highlights? Have you seen clips? What's your thoughts on those sorts of things?
Well, my main knowledge of the game is from someone I know who was speaking to me on Sunday and saying that someone who's very Harriers orientated, someone who's saying actually he was disappointed in some of the performances of players who've not been too bad. He mentioned Pierce Bird, he mentioned Obi, he mentioned I can't remember who else particularly. I mean, it was good that Toby's came into the team and scored, which is brilliant. It's probably, I guess, open for a start. But I think we've got to keep people on side, haven't you? That's the problem. Mm-hmm. What you don't want are the fans talking down the team already. Yeah.
And actually, as fans, we've got to be realistic. We've taken 7 points out of a possible 9 from the last 3 games in the league. Most of us would have snapped our hands off it. Those 3 really big and hard games, 2 aways, 1 at home, against 3 tough opponents, and I think we've come out, really well in that. So therefore, I'm not sure that we can moan too much. What do you think, Liam?
Well, yeah, I think it's obviously disappointing Saturday. I weren't there, but I've seen bits and pieces. But yeah, I think we have to go back to what Adam has said previously, and it's quite true that if you average 2 points a game, you're likely to be up there, and at the moment we definitely are.
Yeah, and that's really important is to remember right now. It's funny to say because I think as fans we are fickle. And so we will look back, and there's nothing wrong with looking back and going, oh yeah, do you know Underfield, we had some big wins, but we had some absolute stinkers as well.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure we all remember when he stood there going, oh, what if the chairman wants to sack me, and all this other stuff going on, and recognising that he was stinking the joint out with his management at that point, and it wasn't great. Yeah. And obviously there was a turn and an uplift, and he was backed effectively by the ownership team to go and better himself. And the result at the end of the season, well, we all know that. But I think right now, it's really hard to believe this, but we're on championship winning form here. If we continue in this manner, not only are we going to hit the playoffs, So Adam said something today. We would hit the playoffs at current form with 15 points to play.
Yeah.
And that's championship winning form, actually, ultimately.
I mean, the reality of that, if we did that, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But every team in this league will struggle at some point.
Yeah.
There's not been a team that has gone on and just like consistently. I mean, you look at Scarborough last year. Scunthorpe last year. Started the season on a high at the top, slowly came off it, eventually got through the playoffs. But no team maintains a level all season. So we're going to lose points, but we've shown that we can compete and that we can do what we need to do.
And it's interesting that your friend said that there were some disappointing performances. I actually think there were some really encouraging performances. For Adigan was showing signs of real promise in that game. I felt Toby coming on and scoring the goal was excellent. I think AMS played fairly well. Again, these players didn't necessarily get a goal, but I actually think that they played well. I don't know. I talk about Amari a lot, but I think that he does a job. And then for Dibble to get sent off, and it was a sending off. I've spoke to him and I spoke to Adam, and I spoke to Amari. I spoke to a number of the players, and they're all saying, it was correct.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough. He's accepted that was correct. And then for Amari to go, I'm going to be the one in goal. So I said, who put him in goal? Whose decision? And they were like, Morgs' decision. He put himself in there.
Yeah.
For me, that's leadership. That's bravery. He did it, and fair play to him. It didn't come off, and the result wasn't what we wanted. But hey, listen, if we don't get an FA Cup run, but we get promoted this year because we've got a rest in between, I think I'd take that.
Oh, absolutely.
It was disappointing. I think I think still in recent memory we got to the West Ham game.
Yeah.
And every season you're thinking, could we do it again? Could we get a Premier League team? But as you say, more importantly, we want promotion.
Yeah, ultimately, I believe at times we were the better team on the day, and I think that's the thing that disappoints fans. I think it disappoints the staff and the squad. We were the better team at times, and we should have beaten Telford. But hey, what? That's football. Sometimes we do lose. So that was Saturday, a disappointing result. Dibs obviously red card, bleeds then into future games. What does that actually mean for us, Liam, as a club now with Dibs' red card?
Well, I think it's always interesting when the keeper gets a red card or injured, because every other position there's always rotation in the team, whereas goalkeeping, especially with Tom Palm, which I believe is still injured, means that Bishop might have to step up.
Yeah.
And I think he might be ready.
Yeah, I mean, for Josh, for most of us, we won't have seen Josh Bishop in action, but actually he's in and around those players a lot.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity, I think, for when you sink or swim, don't you?
Yeah.
And let's hope and pray that, like you said, that Josh is ready and he will swim. And not many of us a few years ago had heard the name Lamine Lamau. And now I'm not comparing Josh to him, right? So let's just not get ahead of ourselves there. But nobody had really heard of him.
That's right. Yeah.
Barcelona are in a state. They've got no money. What do? They start playing this young teenage lad, and all of a sudden, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's going to be a Ballon d'Or winner and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. Josh Bishop could be just a player that we need in this moment.
You've got to hope, haven't you? And that's the reality. You find a decent one, and as you say, if he steps up, takes his opportunity, I think Dibs is going to be number one.
Yeah, definitely.
But it is those opportunities, and I think that one of the issues we've had over recent seasons with younger players, if you think of Kobe Hall, et al., they don't get the chances because, they just don't. They don't get put into teams. They get 10 minutes here and there. With a goalie, as you say, you don't get that opportunity. So this is his opportunity.
Yeah, and
probably.
I just think, sometimes these situations happen. Somebody steps up and a name is made, and so let's hope that's for Josh. But the other thing about that is there's another 10 players on the pitch.
Yeah.
So we're not asking him to go and win the football game. We're asking the defence to say, hey, I'll look after you. I mean, There used to be a goalkeeper who used to play for Nottingham Forest called Mark Crossley.
Yeah.
And this is a similar situation. His first game for Nottingham Forest was against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And what had happened is the main keeper had got injured. The reserve keeper had gone on loan. The other reserve keeper had got injured. So he was like 4th or 5th in line. And Brian Clough didn't tell him he was going to play until half an hour before the game, told him he was going to play, and they won.
Yeah.
And Mark Crossley eventually became the number one for years for Nottingham Forest. Yeah. And nobody had heard of him. Nobody thought that he could do this job. He didn't even think he was capable. And then he stepped up, and there he was. He went for it.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring him up is because I remember listening to a podcast with him in it, and he said, on the night, the experienced players told me, and it was like Stuart Pearson, people like that, said, we'll look after you tonight, son, don't you worry. Yeah. You do your job, we'll do ours over time. And I think that in this moment, that's where OBs, Pearce, Penny, all those other ones that we know, Kai, all those guys who stepped up against Kings Lynn will be saying to Josh, don't worry, we've got you back. Yeah. You know, it's a tight team. It's exciting. So let's see what happens as we go towards Buxton. Do you want to talk about Buxton?
Yeah, they're always quite interesting games. Always a tough side. We went there last season, didn't we? Good pies, by the way.
Solid.
We always say that.
Pardon?
So we always say that.
Well, Kings Lynn was decent, I have to say. But, you know,
well, I just love pies at football.
Yeah, solid.
But yeah, Buxton always a tough team to break down. They had some decent players last season. I'm not too sure they transfer business, but I can imagine it's the same. They're a tough team to break down, with a hard team to play against.
Yeah. And the other thing again, of course, we brought this up before. I realise some people have a different opinion, but their ground 3G or 4G, whichever. Whereas on the grass, you hope there'll be a difference. Yeah. When we go there, it's a bit different because that bounce and everything. On the great pitch we've got here at the moment, hopefully it gives us a chance to play football
and the guys have had a week. They've had a week, which is first of all to get over the weekend, but then to look forward to the next game and to be back home. And I don't know if this is true. I don't even know if I should say this, but I am going to say it. I got told today that only 2 tickets for Buxton were sold. 2.
What do you mean from Buxton?
Yeah, 2 fans.
Wow.
That's what I got told today. Wow. That probably will change towards the weekend, but this is an opportunity. I want to say to everybody who's umming and ahhing whether you should come or not, come down on Saturday. Let's get over 3,000 of us in there. Let's just cheer them on, roar them on, because the noise of the Aggborough does make a difference to those players. And the fans, when we're on the back of the opposition, I can tell you what, that they feel pressure, and we can affect that game hugely. And I think Adam would want us to do that. Yeah. I think that the players would want us to do that, and I want to encourage you to come down on Saturday to do that. Buxton will be an interesting game, and like we said. Here's a stat for you that I missed out on that last segment with Stibbs. It's his first career red card.
Really?
Yeah, he's never had a red card, which is incredible, really. And in many ways, it's a shame because he's 31 and he's gone that distance.
So, red cards, obviously, ban. I get that. You got a yellow the other week. Does that matter in the equation, or is that a separate thing altogether? I don't know.
I don't know, actually. It's an interesting... Yeah. If you know the answer to that, to put that into the comments, that'd be fantastic. Another thing that happened this week, Phil Brown. The return of the Mac. Oh, return of the Mac.
Here I am, return of the Mac. Once again, return of the top of the world.
And here he comes back, Big Philly Brown. What's his first home game against? Going to be against Kiddie. In a week's time or a week or 2 time. So, what do we think to that? Phil Brown is on the march back into the National League North.
Well, I think it's interesting. Peterford's obviously had a very, very tough start to the season. I think they've always had struggles, but I think and Gash had done well with them, but this season, for whatever reason, it's not clicked. And I think the chairman's made a very bold choice getting Phil in because he's a big name. I can't imagine he's come cheap like he was for us. They are only a part-time outfit. I'm not sure if he's ever managed part-time team before.
No, he hasn't, and he's not taken Neil McDonald with him.
Yeah. It's interesting as well, isn't it? That this, I mean, I say this in a, I don't know, not a derisory way, but this this is his level now. I don't know how that works. Why is he not getting a job in the? I don't know. Is he not?
Well, some of this is like, if you think about it, please hear this right. If you are of this age, and it's going to sound very ageist, he's in his mid to late 60s now.
Yeah.
He hasn't managed at the highest level for a long time.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, he hasn't really got a particularly brilliant record either. Now, you could argue last year he did all right, he nearly got promoted, but overall, I'm not sure his win percentage is absolutely that fantastic in any league over the last few years.
Yeah.
And I think that we've alluded to this before, it's the Phil Brown show, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. He's in his own right. He's Phil Brown, isn't he? Like he doesn't blend in. He's Phil Brown. It's almost like Phil Brown and then the club.
Yeah.
Which is, you don't feel that with Adam. So
no, I think there's a bit more humility with him, and I think that it'll be interesting. So we're going to Peterborough away. Fancy that one? I think I'm going to do it. Come on.
It'd be hard to say no.
Yeah, we love a good away day. So if you're coming to that, give us a shout out. Again, that's a ground where we could easily dominate and overtake as fans. And that is something like, you don't get that in many other leagues, but in this league you can do it.
Yeah.
And at this level of club we can do it.
Yeah,
Last year we went away to a few different away grounds and took more fans than there was home fans. So I really want to encourage you, if you've not done away games, go and do one because they're brilliant. Okay, let's just touch then on the chairman's lunch. I've mentioned that a couple of times. So today was the chairman's lunch. So if you don't know what that is, I didn't know what that was, but it's effectively a bit like the curry with Murray, but it's with sponsors, and you get invited as a sponsor to go on it, or if you're affiliated with the club or whatever, the players come, the manager comes, the staff and that, and it was a nice meal. Shout out to Nick from the Kidderminster Harriers fans podcast. He was there. Great to see you, mate. So me and Nick got a real good insight into what was going on in the world of the Harriers. Richard gets up and then he tells us the stuff what's going on from his perspective, which was fascinating, to be honest with you, telling us about the progress of the club, the budget that the club were currently spending, which is just under £1 million for the first team budget, which is actually...
That sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
It's a lot of money when we talk about it like that, and that's an increase on where we were before. So, the club is in a healthy place.
Yeah.
He also talked about community projects. He talked about the women's team. He talked about the academy, just like the future direction of the club. And we'll probably pick some of this up at a later date, and we'll go into some of those at a later date. But some really fascinating insights into where the club is going. And what I can really, really assure you is it's a positive place.
It's good. It feels that
on the pitch and off the pitch, and that's really good.
I think that's quite a point actually, because we're all known to do it. I'd imagine we rock up on a Saturday. It's committed to Harriers, whereas if you look at it, we've got women's teams, we've got a disabled team started up. It's a club that is the heart of the town.
And that's absolutely the heart of the town. I like that because I think it impacts the town. When the team's doing well, you feel that buzz in the town. But I think there is opportunity for the club to be more of a community asset. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's an opportunity to be.
And that's definitely the vision for it. Some of the highlights that we were saying, we've mentioned before about this away kit. I've got it on today. I love it. It's a great looking kit. They actually, originally, they were only going up to XXL. They're now going up to 4XL in there. So if you are of the larger attire, then you can go and get that. I would recommend you going at one size of your normal, just because they are slightly tight fitting. But they're good quality. They feel nice. And listen, I'm not sponsored by this kit, but I want to just highlight, as a result of the quality of the kits this year, they were saying that merchandise sale is up 50%.
It's amazing. It's great.
And you may go, oh, well, why is he bothered talking about that? Well, because that's money back into the club, which ultimately goes back into the community, or goes back into the playing staff, into the quality of the food that we get, all of that sort of stuff. And I think there are some good things going on for this football club. It's a good time to be a Harrier or to join the Harriers. And one of the things with the community that I don't think anyone's aware of, to the degree that the community team are engaging with young people, 18,500 students per year.
That's great.
That's massive. And
Positive impacts as well, isn't it? You know?
yeah, and what I learned today was it wasn't just Kidderminster in the White Forest, but it goes to Malvern, it goes to Bromsgrove, it goes up to Alverley, it goes all over the shop. With a huge reach. This club really is the pride of Worcestershire.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And we should be proud of it. So yeah, it was interesting. And then Adam Murray got up and he said a few things, which was similar, not too dissimilar to the Curry with Murray. But one of the things I think that he was talking about is that I think we've kind of commented on a wee bit is, as fans, is to really get behind the team, not get on their backs so much.
Yeah.
There's moments. Do you know what? We all can have a stinker at work.
Absolutely.
Problem is theirs is so public.
Yes.
And we feel we have a right to then absolutely strip them down. And maybe we do because we've paid stuff. But actually, the reality is they're humans. They're trying.
Yeah.
And let's just put things into perspective. We've got a good points tally.
Yeah.
We are where we... So the chairman said today we've got a top 5 budget. We're in the top 5 in the league right now. So we can't complain.
No, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
We need to stop acting entitled and we need to remind ourselves
Absolutely.
this is a new squad, a new era, and we get
Yeah.
behind it.
And no team in any league is entitled. Man
No, they're
City is a prime example.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
And Man United. Sorry, any Man United fans. But this is a Kidderminster Harriers fans podcast. Talked about other podcasts. We did not shout out Nick in his podcast, did we? Everywhere we go. Just want to shout him out. If you haven't checked out some of his interviews, Nick is a fantastic interviewer. I'll put the link down at the bottom of this, but he is a fantastic interviewer. Go and check out his. Go and check out Wes and those guys. It's a great time to be a Harriers fan because there's loads and loads of fans.
And I think that's a sign that things are good.
Yeah.
There's more people want to talk about it, more people want to engage with a wider audience about it, and I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, and there's plenty to engage about, isn't there?
Totally. Yeah.
Talking about what we can engage about, women's team, talk to me about that, Liam, because that is one of our favourite subjects since we went to see them.
Yeah, absolutely. So the women's team at the weekend won 1-0 against Harriers. There's obviously a local derby. It's quite impressive.
Fantastic.
Obviously, just come up to the league as well. So I think a couple of wins recently. I think they lost the first game or two. They seem to be picking up a little bit now. So
yeah,
I mean, it's great for the club and it's great inspiration for women of the town as well.
That's right. Yeah, and this is something that we want to see grow really.
Yes.
And I really want to encourage you. Please go and see them at the Droitwich.
Yeah.
They're away this week in Barnsley, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that they would appreciate people putting posts on saying, "Come on, the girls! Come on, the
Yeah.
Harriers!" It would be great if we got a result against Barnsley, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Because we're into step 4 now of the women's tiers.
Yeah.
So when you work that out, we're only 4 steps away from the Super League, whatever it is, the Premier League, the Women's League.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we could get into the Championship?
Well, you've got to believe that there's got to be that opportunity, hasn't there? I mean, we played the other week when we played Notts County and we watched that game. I've never checked it out, but they looked more of a professional outfit. But we beat them.
Yeah.
And we took, we did well. So you've got to think there's got to be a chance.
That's right. And then the other game that happened midweek that Adam Murray all reminded us of was the FA Cup the FA Youth Cup. And I loved what Adam said. This is an opportunity for a lot of these young men to get their first run out, really, and it's a big night for them.
Yeah.
What a mad result. I was sadly in Peterborough. I've been in Peterborough all week. I haven't been with Phil Brown, just want to double check. Just want to reassure you I was there for working purposes. But interesting that in that game we were 4-1 down.
Yeah.
And then we came back and then we won on penalties.
That's great.
Impressive.
I think, for me, what that says is, and again, this is something that happened today. Adam Murray was there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. The manager was there.
Yeah.
He was watching for the talent as well. And he said, he didn't name the player, but he said, well, there was a couple of 16-year-olds on that pitch where we thought, wow, there's a player in there.
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it?
And actually, what they were talking about today is, instead of constantly going out to buy players at this league, to produce good players.
That's got to be the dream, hasn't it? That, like, you know, the team, say in 3 years' time, there's 3 or 4 players in the team that have been grown
Yeah.
as part of the kiddie academy and everything else. And I think that's got to be the dream.
Yeah, it has to be the dream, hasn't it?
And that you see those players go on. Perhaps we sell them because that's the way it goes.
Well, imagine, like, for instance, we get a talented 17-year-old in, plays a couple of seasons for us, or even a 20-year-old plays a couple of seasons, gets to 22, and then we sell him for 500,000 quid. That changes. So Adam was telling us a story today that they had a player in at Eastbourne. People thought he was just going to be nothing. They used him for 6 months. He was so good. Middlesbrough bought him for £500,000 quid in the January.
Yeah.
And then he said that we had 3 more players at the end of the season leave and go to league football. And he said, and that's why Eastbourne are in the state they're in now, because there wasn't, and they didn't replace them, but they made money off of them. And, you know, the youth teams are so key, I think, to the future of what we're doing.
I think across football generally, you know, the higher in the pyramid you go, is it PRS? I got that right. It's PRS. PSR, that's it, yeah. You know, is causing problems for a lot of the bigger clubs because they've overspent or, you know, so you can see that clubs like your Chelsea's, etc., they're going to have to start finding more young players. I think Chelsea do it quite well, to be fair. But Liverpool, they're going to have to find more younger, homegrown players, and that's going to filter down.
Yeah.
I think that's, the future.
It's got to be the future. But here's one thing that we know as we come to the end of this podcast tonight, unless you've got any other business, gentlemen. That's a Wes line. Wes, I'm still in your line. Any other business, gentlemen?
No. We haven't done Score Predictor yet.
Oh, we need to do Score Predictor. So we will get on to that. As you're getting that out, let me just say, you've just said that it's about the future. And I would say, right now, the future is bright if you're a Harriers fan. Right now, the future is hopeful. And right now is the time to get involved. If you're a casual fan, can I encourage you to maybe just get more involved? There's so many places that you can get involved. You can interact with us here. You can come down on a Saturday, come on away days. There's loads of events that happen throughout the year. I'm not sponsored by the club. I'm not told to do this, but I just want to encourage you. This is the heart of the town.
Yeah,
and
it is,
if you want to be part of it, part of a community that cares for one another and just is for one another, this is it. Like, I found out on Saturday, there was loads of kids there on Saturday in the away end. Yes, there was a few fans that were being a bit argy-bargy and a bit stupid, and we don't want to see that. But overall, there was just quality fans because we're quality
Fantastic.
people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, Score Predictor, let's go for it.
First off, we've got the dreaded Fylde versus Leamington. Adam.
Is it away? Fylde at home or
Fylde at home.
I'm going to go 1-0 Fylde.
Stuart.
2-0 Fylde.
I'm going to go 3-1 Fylde.
Okay.
Ooh. So, Alfreton at home against Telford. You've seen how Telford
Well, I'm going to go Telford 2-0.
Ooh. 1-1.
I'll go 1-1 as well.
Okay.
So we've got Bedford at home against Spennymoor.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Bedford against Spennymoor. I think Spennymoor 2-1.
Well, Spennymoor 1-0, I reckon. We've got Chorley Macclesfield.
Oh. 2-1 Chorley.
2-1 Chorley.
I'll go 2-1 Macclesfield.
Okay.
Then we've got Curzon at home versus South Shields.
1-0 South Shields.
1-0 Curzon.
I'll go 2-0 South Shields.
Oof.
We've got Darlington at home against Chester.
We don't get very many 0-0s in this league, do we?
No.
So I reckon a 2-2.
Darlington Chester. 1-0 Chester.
I'm going 1-1 for that one. We've got Hereford at home to Worksop. I mean, how have Hereford started? It's
been dreadful, isn't it, really? Well, I shouldn't say that's been glorious. I'm going to go...
Don't smile too much,
Yeah, I'm going to go Worksop 1-0.
Worksop 2-1.
I'm going to Worksop 1-0 as well. And then they got us versus Buxton.
Well, I'm going to go with a 2-0 home win.
2-1, a home win.
I'm going to be bold. I reckon we'll win 3-0.
Oh, who's
would
going to
be
be first goal scorer?
I think
Mooney
if he's back, but
or Toby?
Toby.
it would be interesting if Mooney's back, isn't it? I think he's not far away, so pretty good chance.
It'd be great though, wouldn't it? If Toby's on a roll, like can't play, gets another goal, and is the goal
be
scorer.
class.
That'd be awesome.
Could we see a hat trick? Who knows?
Oh,
They've got Marine at home to Kings Lynn.
Who, Merthyr?
Marine.
Or to Kings Lynn? 2-0 to Kings Lynn.
1-1.
I'm going to go for 1-0 for Kings Lynn for that one.
Okay.
We've got Scarborough at home to Oxford City.
Oh, Scarborough 2-0. All day over that.
Scarborough. 2-1 Scarborough.
I'm going 1-1 for that one.
Okay.
And then we've got Southport versus Peterborough.
He'll want to win that, Phil Brown, won't he? Because
Yeah.
of what happened.
Oh yeah, cool.
Come on, Southport, do what you did to us. But you have been dreadful this year. But come on, channeling something.
They were last year to the played us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take all that anger out and Phil again. Let's go 1-0 Southport.
I think the Phil Brown effect though. I think 2-1 Peterborough.
I'm going 1-0 Peterborough for that one. And the final one is Merthyr at home playing against Radcliffe.
Oh, 2-0 Bertha.
1-0 Merthyr.
Go 2-0 Merthyr for that one as well.
There we go. So those are our score predictions. Because we've been a bit sporadic with this over the podcast, what we're going to do is do it at a halfway point. So just at Christmas, we'll review where our scores are, and then we'll come up with our our punishment forfeits or
Any ideas, put them in the comments.
or prizes for the winner. We'll see what they get. So anyway, that's the coming to the end of the podcast today. We'll pick it up next week after Buxton.
Yeah.
We'll see what the score is, and then we'll look forward to going to Peterborough and giving Mr. Brown a good hiding for how he ended with us. Really, we're coming for you, Phil. We're coming for your pies, Peterborough. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say, boys, other than
So.
come on, you Reds, up the
Come
Reds.
on, you Reds.
Reds.
Come on, you Reds.